hear the word mathematics, we often think of numbers, equations, and formulas inside a classroom. However, mathematics is also present in the world around us. We see it in the shapes, patterns, and designs found in everyday objects and cultural artworks. From the woven mats in Filipino homes to textile patterns and decorative designs, geometry helps create structure, balance, and beauty. These patterns are formed using mathematical concepts such as repetition, symmetry, and transformations.
In Filipino culture, geometric designs are more than simple decorations. They represent creativity, craftsmanship, and tradition. Many of these patterns have been passed down from one generation to another and continue to reflect the identity of Filipino communities. Geometric designs are not only decoration, they also preserve stories, traditions, and cultural identity passed from one generation to another.
In this documentary, we will explore how geometry appears in real life designs, analyze the mathematical concepts behind these patterns, and understand how geometry connects to Filipino culture and the modern world. For this activity, we observed geometric designs found in our surroundings. Each member selected one example and identified the shapes and patterns present in the design. Through observation, we discovered that geometry is present in many ordinary objects used in daily life. This is the exact floor mat we used during our pre-lesson activity and is a perfect example of how geometry works in the real world. The shapes that we observe in these floor mats are diamond shapes, squares, and star-like figures, which are repeated throughout the design. These shapes are arranged perfectly even, which gives the whole mat a sense of balance and organization. The way these simple figures are repeated forms a continuous geometric patterns, showing how basic shapes can come together to create a structured and attractive design.
The bayong shows different symmetries through its woven geometric patterns, such as squares, rectangles, diamonds, and lines that repeat through translation, appear turned through rotation, and create mirror-like patterns through reflection.
Hmm? Bituka mo.
These examples prove that geometry is not limited to textbooks and classrooms. It is present in everyday objects and plays an important role in both function and artistic design.
After observing the different designs, we analyze the mathematical concept used to create the patterns and structures found in each example. We identified several geometric figures, including polygons and non-polygons, such as circles, curves, stars, and repeated line patterns. These shapes are carefully arranged to create organized and visually balanced designs. One example is the Starbucks logo, which demonstrates several geometric transformation or isometries commonly used in modern graphic design. First, the logo demonstrates reflection symmetry. It is because the left and right sides of the design appear nearly identical across the yellow vertical mirror line, creating balance and symmetry in the overall image. Second, the logo demonstrates rotation through its circular arrangement. The elements are organized around a central point, creating a sense of harmony and rotational balance. The repeated curved lines in the hair pattern demonstrate translation, where similar shapes repeat in the same direction while maintaining equal spacing and consistent size. The crown and star elements demonstrate dilation, where shapes appear proportionally scaled while preserving their original form and structure. The flowing hair design also suggests glide reflection, which combines reflection and movement along a direction to create smooth and continuous repeating patterns. This geometric transformation preserves the shape and proportions of the figures while allowing the patterns to repeat consistently and aesthetically. Through reflection, rotation, translation, dilation, and glide reflection, geometry helps create balance, harmony, structure, and visual identity in both cultural and modern designs.
The transformations shown in this design are translation, reflection, and rotation. The blue arrows represent translation. They show how the star and diamond shapes slide across the surface to repeat the pattern without changing direction. The orange lines and curves represent reflection. They show how the shapes flip across a line to create a balanced, mirror-like symmetry. Lastly, the red markings represent rotation. The star-like figures turn around a central point while keeping the same shape. These three transformations create a repeating pattern while keeping all the shapes and sizes the same.
The woven patterns in the bayong show translation because the squares, diamonds, and rectangles repeat by sliding in the same direction without changing their shape or size. Rotation can also be seen in the diamond and rectangular patterns because some shapes appear turned at different angles while still keeping their original form. Reflection is visible in the balanced weaving design, where some parts look like mirror images of each other across a line.
Amakan is a traditional Filipino woven wall panel made from bamboo strips arranged in repeated geometric patterns. It is commonly used in Philippine houses, especially in bahay kubo and rural homes. The woven design shows different isometries or geometric transformations. Translation can be seen because the squares, diamonds, and rectangles repeat by sliding in the same direction without changing their size or shape. Rotation is shown when some diamond and rectangular patterns appear turned at different angles while still keeping their original form. Reflection is also visible because some parts of the woven pattern look like mirror images of each other across a line. These repeated and balanced patterns can create harmony and symmetry, making amakan both visually attractive and culturally meaningful.
The picture shows geometric transformation on a Filipino nipahat, salakot. Reflection is shown by the mirror image on both sides of the vertical line. Rotation is shown by the circular shape around the top point. Translation is shown by the repeating moving patterns. Dilation is shown by the hat becoming wider from the top to the base.
Filipino geometric design are more than artistic decoration. They also represent history, culture, and tradition. Traditional woven mats, baskets, and textiles reflects the creativity and craftsmanship of Filipino communities. Many of these designs are passed down from generation to generation and continue to preserve cultural identity. In different regions of the Philippines, weaving tradition use geometric patterns that symbolize nature, unity, and everyday life. These patterns tell stories about communities and their way of living. Geometric design are not only decoration, they also preserve stories, tradition, and cultural identity passed from one generation to another. This shows that mathematics is deeply connected to Filipino heritage and cultural expressions.
For our original design, we created a geometric pattern inspired by traditional Filipino floor mats designs. The drawing contains squares, diamond shapes, star shapes, and flower-like patterns arranged in a balanced and symmetrical way. These shapes were inspired by the woven patterns commonly seen in Filipino floor mats. In our design, the square shapes were rotated to form the diamond shapes, showing the transformation called rotation. The repeated diamond shapes moving across the pattern demonstrate translation, because the shapes slide repeatedly from one position to another. Reflection can also be seen in the arrangement of the patterns on both sides of the design, creating symmetry and balance. These transformations help create an organized and visually appealing artwork while preserving the size and shape of each figure. Through this activity, we learn that geometry plays an important role in both art and Filipino cultural designs.
Geometry continues to be important in modern society. Today, geometric patterns are used in architecture, fashion, interior design, digital art, and technology. Many modern Filipino artists and designers still use traditional patterns as inspiration for contemporary works. For example, building use geometric structures for stability and design, while fashion designers use repeated patterns to create attractive clothing styles. This proves that geometry remains useful and relevant in both traditional and modern contexts.
We analyze how transformations such as translation, rotation, and reflection create organized and balanced patterns.
We also recreated our own design using the mathematical concept we learned.
In conclusion, geometry is more than shapes and formulas. It is a meaningful part of Filipino culture, creativity, and tradition. Through geometric designs, stories, and cultural identity continue to be preserved and shared across generations.